I've never spoken for less than 20 minutes in my life. I mean, when I tell a story, it takes me about a half hour. So I'll try to be quick, leave time. It's a small group, so please interrupt me during it if you have a specific question. You do not have to wait till the end. And I got somebody in the back who's going to keep me on time, the 18-minute level. So I'm going to talk, everybody's familiar with EPC, I think, earnings per click, the metric. It's widely used in our industry. As an affiliate, it's a great measure of traffic's leaving my control and it's going somewhere else, and how much is that monetizing for me? So it's a good metric, but generally we tend to use it way too broadly in our industry. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that. I'm going to start, though, with an example. So losing weight. If you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose weight. If your average person, 2,000 calorie diet, you got to shed 500 pounds a day to lose 1 pound a week. So it's easy metric, easy to measure. I can calorie count all I want, and I'm going to lose a pound a week if I limit my diet to 1,500. But as we know, those two things aren't equal, okay? They're both 1,500 calories, but if I fill my diet with donuts, which I tend to do at these shows, instead of balanced meals, I'm not going to make my goal. So ultimately, we want to look deeper into the metric, in this case, calories, to understand it and to understand how do I optimize to it and stuff like that. EPC is the exact same way. So it's a good indicator of success. As I said, it's very widely used, but all clicks aren't equal. So we have to go deeper into that metric to figure it out. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to look at ways to drill down into EPC. One of the most common ones is day parting. I'm sure everybody here is familiar with it. So you're looking at time of day, and what this particular advertiser time of day graph displays confirms the fact that we all buy when we're at work, when we're supposed to be working. So from 9 to 5, that's when this particular merchant is doing very, very well. And so by looking at this data for this particular advertiser, an affiliate can actually target those hours, lower their costs in the hours when you're not making very much money, and instead target those particular sectors. Other common ones are days of the week. You know, that confirms for a lot of merchants or advertisers that Sunday and Saturdays are a bad time for an affiliate to spend money. Instead, you want to spend on day of the week, you want to spend money Monday through Friday, or it might just be for any particular advertiser a couple of days during the week. Same with days of the month. We have an advertiser in our network that they make 80% of their sales in the first 10 days of the month. So affiliates that are spending money in those last 20 days are actually missing out on the opportunity to optimize that campaign. They need to focus all of their attention on the first couple of days or first several days of the month. And then, of course, month of the year. That's the easiest one to understand. We all know Q4 is a big opportunity to make money. If you're promoting tax guys, you know that February and April are your prime opportunities to make money. So you need to look at the data in this day parting kind of environment to figure out when you should spend your money or give exposure or those kinds of things, and when you shouldn't. Another very common one is the creative used to promote. So if you use creatives on a content site or something like that to advertise and to try to monetize that content, you can optimize based on the creative. So if you look at the creatives and their performance on an EPC basis, it could be the same. You can be comparing same size creatives for that advertiser or different advertisers to pick the one that makes most sense for your audience, or it could be different sizes. So how does different sizes matter? Different sizes matter because you can actually A/B test against different size banners. So this is real data for TurboTax in our network. So, you know, the middle banner here makes significantly more money. So you might consider on a content site actually redesigning and A/B testing your content around a banner that you hadn't intended to use, just to see if you can optimize that page. Another common one is promotional source. So you're measuring EPC or other metrics. EPC isn't the only metric, but in this presentation, it's the one we're going to talk about. You're actually looking at the promotional source to figure out, okay, so if I buy traffic from Google, Bing, Yahoo, or minor search engines, what makes me more? Where can I spend the money? So you're optimizing to the one that makes the most sense for you. These are all fairly common. I'm sure you guys have all done this. Some other drill down methods that are a little less common, I wouldn't call them uncommon, but a little less common is geolocation of the click. So the region. If you're able to target your promotional methods and things to the region, country, state, or in this example, Midwest versus Southeast, you can see, again, this is real data. You can see for this particular advertiser, your opportunity, if you're able to target, is you're much better spending your money in the Southeast than you are in the Midwest. So you'd want to target your clicks, your buys, your exposure to your audience, however you're going to target, depending on what kind of promotional methods you use, to that, if it's possible, in order to raise your earnings and lower your costs, or lower your opportunity lost. Sub-ID tracking. Sean here is the master of sub-ID tracking. So he uses sub-ID to basically track almost everything every decision he makes to promote, okay? So A/B testing, we all know what A/B testing is. Testing two different versions of the page to figure out which one makes you the most money. It could be placement, it could be message, it could be buttons, anything like that. So there's a slight message change, you're trying to figure out which one does, and usually it's sub-ID tracking that's used in a network environment to figure out EPC and to look at those. Okay, so that's a really good example. A/B testing is a really good example of optimizing based on sub-ID tracking. Again, another thing that people use, Sean has used, location on the page. So what am I going to do? I'm going to promote up here or I'm going to promote down there. And he uses sub-ID to do those kinds of things. Which coupon was used is another example of that. Man, time is flying. Okay, so I got 15 minutes left, is that right? So which coupon is used? In the previous example when we talked about creative, which banner was used, all of those kinds of things can be tracked through sub-ID tracking. Most affiliates, or most, I would say, intermediate to advanced affiliates are very familiar with using the sub-ID in a network to measure performance in different things. Another example is keywords used. So on an SEM affiliate basis, it's easy, right? Of course, SEM affiliate is measuring what keyword they bought a click on and optimizing to that. They're throwing away keywords that don't make them money, and they're optimizing to keywords that do make them money. But other affiliates can do the same thing, even outside of the SEM realm. So if you're a blog site or a content site, and you have access, obviously, through Google Analytics to see what keywords are coming into your site, being used into those sites, you can pass that through, usually through sub-ID tracking, pass that information through, coded or uncoded, it doesn't matter, so that you can measure what keyword generated the interest in this promotion on this blog post, okay? And that's important because now you can optimize to those things. And you can react differently to different keywords. So if you have a set of keywords, let's say, 10 keywords are being used to, or 10, you have top 10 keywords, 5 of them do really well and 5 of them don't, you can take those 5 and dynamically change the content based on that, or the promotion that you're trying to monetize on that page to try something else. It's not monetizing. You don't want to get rid of the other 5. So it's not just SEM. Don't think of keywords as just SEM, and that's important to remember. Sorry I'm talking so fast. 18 minutes is tough. Device type. Now we're getting into the really uncommon ones. Not many affiliates do this, and a lot of the reason a lot of affiliates don't do this is they just don't have the data. So you have to find the data, and we'll talk a little bit about that too as a requirement. But device type, so mobile versus, or tablet and mobile versus PC. You can react differently on your site to those based on the performance on that. If you understand how these different devices react to an advertiser promotion, you can react differently to the different devices and optimize to each of those. So you have advertiser A on the PC that when somebody comes into your site on a PC, you have advertiser A that you're going to promote. You have a synonymous advertiser B that you can promote on mobile because they do better. So you're making more money based on recognizing the device type that's come in. Everybody knows that you have a mobile optimized site and you have a regular site. You recognize it based on the browser and you adjust. Well, adjust your promotion similarly. You can also do this to operating system or browser. It sounds ridiculous. It's not. One of our top advertisers in our network, 80% of their sales are generated by Mac users. That's big. 80% of their sales come from Mac users. Mac users are small. So imagine what somebody promoting this advertiser and making a ton of money from this advertiser can do with the other 90% of the traffic that's Windows guys or Linux guys, okay? So take advantage of this and say, when a Mac user comes to my site, I'm gonna do X. But when a Windows user comes to my site or a Linux user, I'm gonna do Y because I have the data to support the fact that I can change dynamically, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? We can talk about it if it doesn't, but that's it's critical. Product level is another thing. So a lot of affiliates promote merchants. They make a lot of money from advertisers on a broad sense. On a broad sense, they're measuring the EPC, they're happy with it. Well, take it a step farther. Take it down to the product level. Figure out what products are making you the money from that guy, and now promote to those products. Okay, so that's a big deal too. You're promoting to the top products that your audience is making you money on, getting them the answers much more quickly, okay? And there's two levels of product level promotion. One is the product promoted, and the second is the product purchased, okay? So you want to talk to your advertisers, you want to talk to your networks about the difference between the two, and can you get both? And then you want to figure out which one makes you the most money. So this might be the product you're promoting, and that might be the product that's making you money, okay? So now you want to try to promote this product to see if you can make more money, or are you better off sticking promoting this product? Those kinds of things is how you want to get into the data. Sorry for touching the screen, by the way. Offer EPC. So a lot of advertisers will change their offer depending on what's important to them. The best example, or easiest to understand, is new versus existing customers. A new customer is generally worth a lot more money to an advertiser, and a lot of advertisers are willing to pay more money for a new customer. So the way they do that is they incent through their affiliate marketing channel, affiliates, for the new customers. 2, 3, 4 times as much commission paid on a new customer. So what you want to do is you want to measure the performance of your promotional methods in this light to figure out what things am I doing that drive new customers, what things am I doing that drive existing customers. I do more of the things that drive new customers and less of the things to drive existing because the opportunity to make money is much greater on the new customer. Okay. Stole this from Sarah Bunny. Anybody know Sarah Bunny? She's brilliant. Stole this. She always adds bonus advice, so I stole this from her. So bonus advice is think about your promotional methods and think about the EPC metric in that vein, okay? So if you are a search affiliate, and that's how you make your money, direct search or trademark plus bidding or those kinds of things. When you go in and you're looking for campaigns, generally in a network, you're looking at the broad-based, every affiliate promoting that EPC. So you're making decisions based on promotional methods that have nothing to do with what you want to do. What you want to do is look at the data from your promotional, your promotional methods. So in this example, again, all real data, this particular advertiser's general EPC is 2166. Probably not an EPC that a search guy would touch with a 10-foot pole. However, if you look at the same advertiser at all of the affiliates in that network that are using search promotional method, that EPC jumps up to 83.74. Now we're getting interested and we're going to try this. We're going to test this. The reverse can be true too, okay? So a search guy can lose a lot of money by a very attractive EPC offer that he can't make work, okay? So you want to look at the data from the promotional method if at all possible. Talk to your networks about that. As a merchant, I don't think we probably have any merchants in here, but it's not the reverse is true, but a different stance on that is if I'm looking to diversify my affiliate marketing campaign, I need to understand this metric across the various channels to know there is a reason that I don't have a lot of shopping comparison affiliates. Why don't I have a lot of shopping comparison affiliates? What can I do to motivate these guys? I have all coupon affiliates. Well, yeah, they make a lot of money. So I need to understand these various metrics, social space. These guys aren't making any money. Well, that's the reason. So what can I do to work with these guys to empower them to make more money? That's a really good metric or a really good look at a deeper look at this metric to diversify. I'm on conclusions and I haven't seen the 5-minute sign. I'm doing all right. Oh, no. Oh, I'm done. Okay, let me fly through these then real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so don't rely on summarized data. Assume every merchant acts differently, obviously. So just because one advertiser does well on a Mac program, Mac environment doesn't mean everybody does. So you need to look at the data individually for the advertisers. Start with a guess based on a conversation. This is basic advice. You want to have a conversation with a merchant to understand their demographics, understand what drives conversions on their site so that you can target those and then measure those. Obviously, optimization, the definition of optimization, maximize what works and minimize what doesn't. You want to focus your attention on promotional opportunities, which means figure out what you can control, okay? So if you can't control your costs related to region or country, then there's no need to look at that data, okay? But if you can, then there's every reason to look at that data. So you need to think about what you can control, the environment you can control, where you can save costs, where you can take advantage of situations and focus your attention on those. And then if you're not getting this data from your merchants or your networks, push them to give it to you. That's it. Any questions? All right. I'll be here if anybody, I'm sorry, I went over. I apologize. 18 minutes, it's tough. Okay, so I'm up here if anybody wants to talk. Thanks, guys.